Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Kat. It's so good to see you, Coach Kat.
Hey, Coach Queenie.
So, I'm going to give the viewers a few minutes to come on. Tonight, you are kicking off my Monday motivation series.
Wow.
So, I'm super excited about this, Kat, and I'm grateful to have you here. So I want the viewers to get to know a little bit about Coach Kat. But we're gonna give them just a few minutes so you and I can kind of catch up until they get here.
I
So tonight we're live. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube, of course. And so people are going to be watching us. We're from all over. But of course, I want us to keep it real. It's just good. It's good to get together. This is March
yeah.
1st and 2021, and we have been in a crazy, crazy time. And I need motivation. I'm sure you could use some motivation.
All I can get.
Right. And so I know the viewers can use some motivation. I hope everyone that's watching us tonight, I hope they're able to hear me. I hear a little echo, but y'all bear with me and put a message in the comment section if you are getting any feedback or anything like that, if we need to change anything, because I want to make sure that everyone's able to not just view us, but hear what we're talking about. Coach Kat, what's been going on? What's been happening?
Girl, some of everything.
Okay.
Life is about what it's ebb and flow. You have your good damn days and then you have your challenging days. And you unpack some shit and then you just say F it. So I told you. Yeah. So, that's it. Just life, just doing my thing.
Well, you are looking good. I see you all over social media getting in your workouts. You're looking fresh and alive. I'm loving this.
Hey, remember what I said earlier? That is the power of unpacking your shit.
Yeah.
Honey, when you unpack it, it's just everywhere. You see it all over your face, all in your life, everything.
Yes.
So it's power.
I see it on you. I see it on you. I do. I see it on you. When you talk about unpacking, you and I, we met, of course, via social media. Then I've been on your show and we've been like sister friends ever since. And we've chatted and talked, and you support me. I support you on social media. I love it. But one thing about you is you are a very no nonsense, very direct coach. And you talk to the ladies as we need to be talked to. You talk very real to us. And so I can appreciate your authentic self, right? I so appreciate your transparency.
Thank you.
And you're funny. You're funny and it's real talk, but you're hilarious. And I love that about you. Now tell me, where did that come from, Coach Kat?
What unpacking your shit or just my approach?
Your approach to this.
Okay, so I think I've been like this my whole life. And one reason, a friend, a childhood friend, she and I met up for lunch. I went home and she and I met up for lunch. And she told me, even when we were young, I was this way.
Yeah.
So it's not something that I even knew. I didn't think, oh, this is how I am. So I hope I'm making sense.
Oh, you are. Yes.
She said, this is just how I've always been. You're going to hear noise.
That's okay. We live.
Have people in the house. So this is just who I am. And as in life, and when you've gone through so much, people try, they beat you down.
Yeah.
And I lost this. And it was, during healing and unpacking that I reconnected with this part with who I am. And, I try to tone it down. I really try, this is me.
You are who you are. And that's the reason why I think those of us that are drawn to you, I think that's why we're drawn to you. You are who you are. And it's interesting you said something that I can relate to, which is, as a kid, this is who you were. My friends that knew me as a kid, they used to say I was so far ahead of my time. I act like an old lady. I was wise. I mean, I did some random ish, right? I did some childish ish, but my mindset was always different. It was just different, and I couldn't really explain it. And probably not until I was about 40 did I decided to try to live like a kid. I went back into my childhood.
Exactly.
Now tell me, did you experience that too? Because I was so serious and so mature for so long that, I mean, even now I'm 40 plus and now I want to be irresponsible sometimes.
I wholeheartedly can relate. Yes. I'm pushing 50. I spent most of my life in my head or in some serious stuff.
Yes.
Survival mode, trying to figure out how I was going to make things work. Then married and 5 children, being a parent. So I really didn't have a lot of time to be a child and act silly and be silly. And, even though I did a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But I totally get it.
Yeah. So I want the viewers and the listeners, please share this video. We're about to get into this with Coach Kat and learn a little bit more on how she manages unpacking her ish and leave us with some motivation, of course. This is Monday. Tonight, I'm sipping on a little something because I had a hard day and I'm rewarding myself with, a spirit so I can sit here and I can enjoy this conversation with you. So don't y'all judge me.
I am actually a little upset. I'm a little jealous. I'm sipping on chamomile tea because unfortunately I can't sip on spirits right now.
I'm gonna sip for you. Don't even worry. I got you. See, this is just I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. All right. So let's get into this. Talk to me, Coach. Overcoming the fear, unpacking what's going on inside of your head. That is a huge one. But I want to know, how have you been able and how do you still practice this? How do you do this?
Overcoming the fear and unpacking what's going on inside of my head. Well, I know we're going to touch on this later, but honey, there is always stuff going on inside of this ADHD brain. All the time. As far as unpacking fear, my approach to dealing with fear is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. I do not really try to work really hard to get rid of fear because I happen to believe fear is a good thing. And I do not want to rid myself of something that is actually here to help me. So I figure out, is this an irrational fear? Or is this thing that I'm afraid of, is it real? Either way, it's fear. I don't care how you look at it. It's still fear. So for me, it is just putting on my big girl panties and moving through the fear. That's how I approach it.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that is, I think we're all trying to manage it and figure it out, right? But head on is also a good approach.
Right.
Head on is a good approach. It can be uncomfortable, but a passive approach may leave you stuck there a lot longer than what you desire,
Right. And some people might need a lot of encouragement. Some people might need the extra support. I'll just speak for my life. I've just had to bulldoze through it. I've just had to, face it and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And everything, just about everything that I put my hands to, fear has been very present, like shaking in my damn boots. Like, what are you doing here, girl?
Yeah.
However, I'm shaking my boots and I do it. So that's how I've always approached it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You said something earlier about ADHD, and of course, with your permission, I wanted to talk about this because as an adult, you were diagnosed with ADHD. So tell me about that experience. And just I know someone else may be dealing with the same things, some of the same symptoms, the same experience, and they don't know how to manage it. So share a little bit, if you will.
Okay. Since I was a little girl, I knew that I was challenged with comprehending things. I have the inattentive type. So, there are three. The hyperactive. I can be hyper, but I can be spacey. I can come across as if I'm not paying attention, or you're talking and I'm just like, I'm somewhere in la la land.
Yeah.
I've always likened my experience to my brain soaking up so much information, like information overload.
Right.
And it doesn't help that I'm always in here thinking and thinking and thinking. And it's like I have all of this information. I'm like a sponge, but I can't get it out.
Yeah.
Processing it and getting it out. If I'm reading, I have to read something 50 million times, which is an exaggeration. I have to read it over and over. If I'm listening to an audio book, I have to keep rewinding. People don't hyper focus. Like, you can get on this phone and you're 12 hours later, you're like, oh shoot, just getting yourself to be able to start a project. It's just so much. And it might seem very insignificant to people unless you're dealing with it and you realize how much it is impacting your life.
Right.
One of the reasons I didn't finish college, I would go to my advisors and try to talk to people. People just didn't take me seriously. I never thought it was ADHD. I thought I was dumb, stupid, and had a learning disorder. I'm going to keep it real. I don't have any time to play. That's what I thought. I spent most of my life thinking that I was dumb, thinking I was stupid, and not thinking that I had a learning disorder.
Right.
Yeah. And unpacking my ish, my shit. Unpacking my ish really helped me tap into my self-worth. So even with me thinking maybe this is my plight, I not being able to put ADHD, to it, I went hardcore into unpacking my worth. Because even if I was dumb or stupid or had a learning disability, I am still worthy. Because our worth is not based on those things. When I was born worthy. And so unpacking helped me tap into my worth.
Yeah.
The diagnosis really confirmed that, hey, girl, you smart as fuck.
Yeah. Yes.
So yes.
So let me ask you, what caused you to actually to get the test? What took you into the clinic or took you to the therapist or to the doctor to say, hey, I mean, as an adult, 40 plus, I'll say 40 plus, because but what actually brought you to that space? Because I know we shared earlier, you kind of already you knew you were different. Let's say
Right,
that. You knew you were different. You
right.
knew you weren't the status quo, the normal, blah, blah, blah. Fit the whole mold, because there's something about fitting that mold. You and I talked about that earlier. Um, how did you approach this, and what made you say, something is different about me?
Okay, again, unpacking.
Hmm.
I'm just curious by nature. That
Yeah.
curiosity and just really wanting to know what was going on with me. Number one, so I could know how to advocate for myself.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
two, I need to know me. What's going on here?
Mhm.
And I spent 15 years, therapy counseling is life for me.
Yeah.
It's what I do. I mean,
Mhm.
I go when I don't even need to go. I'm just there because it's
Mhm.
just such a part of me. But no one ever thought to say, "Oh, you might have ADHD." That it was me
Yeah.
researching and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what was going on because I kept going to school. I started college. Well, I started back to college 8 years ago
Yeah.
and kept dropping out,
Wow.
kept dropping out. And I'm just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What is it? So
Mhm.
I talked to my therapist and she suggested that I get
Yeah.
testing.
Mhm.
And I did. And that was in 2020. That was last year. But what's so
Mhm.
funny is even when I got tested, I was in denial.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay.
I got
I can
tested and
imagine.
then went into straight denial.
Wow.
It's just like, oh my gosh. And just this year, I've accepted it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just this year. That's why I am being more vocal about it.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
just this year, I was like, okay, all right, you need to stop because
Yeah.
I'm back in school
Yes.
and I'm using everything I can to get accommodations
Yeah.
for me so I can finish school. That
Wow.
is just a goal. And
Yeah.
so, um, but yeah, that's
I
pretty
love
much
it.
it.
I am so proud of you. And I told you, I said, you inspire me, in so many ways, but more so, even more so when I saw you, you're always very transparent. So so it's no surprise, right? But when I saw the post, I reread it and I was just like, wow, like I get this. I get it. So I was sending you virtual hugs because I get it.
Thank
And I commend you for being so brave and courageous to talk about it. I don't think there's enough of people of color that are discussing ADHD, especially as adults. I do believe that we were underdiagnosed and overlooked, and I believe our behaviors were just like, oh, that's just who they are. But when I hear you say, my sister, I quit school, I quit school, I quit school, if you would have had the diagnosis and had the accommodations, you could have possibly not just finished, but continued on higher learning and more higher learning. But not having
you.
the reasonable accommodations is is likely what held you back. Now So now you got the tools in place. So I can't wait to see you get what it is that you're going for.
Yeah. And uh, when you get diagnosed, especially at I'm 48. I don't care about sharing how old I am, but I was
Yeah,
47 when I got diagnosed. You do go through a grieving process.
right.
You grieve because you think about all of the things that you started and you
Yeah,
stopped and you started and you stopped. And you think about all of the ways that you beat yourself up
yeah,
side the head and how
yeah.
hard you were, to
Mhm,
yourself with yourself.
mhm.
So you go through a grieving process. And I mean, I went through that. And I
Yeah,
think it's early. I was diagnosed last year. I'm just really accepting it. So I'm
mm,
still grieving. I'm still grieving, and but it's okay.
It's okay. We're here.
Yeah, I can grieve.
Right. That's right. That is right. Yes, girl. Yes. All right. So let's move on. Understanding that. How do you manage the self-doubt? How do you, self-doubt beats me up at times. I've shared this with you. I think I even made I made some notes, honey, because again, I need to make notes. I have my own set of issues over here. So, honey, I may look refined and polished, but I still got to make my little notes here. We share that.
Yes. Yeah. And see, that's another thing people don't know. I can get really excited. So I'm sitting here trying to calm myself down. Like, don't do it. Don't do it.
This is a safe space. Use a safe space, honey. I knew who I was inviting when I invited you.
Oh my God.
Let's just look at that for a second. The self-doubt. It screams sometimes in our heads. How do you manage that part?
Self-doubt. I deal with self-doubt all the damn time.
Yeah.
When it comes my way, I just tap into my worth.
Yeah.
It's a thought.
Yeah.
It's a thought. And when they come, you process it, you let it move through your body, and you release it, and you keep it moving. And you do it as many times as you need to do it. Yeah. There are no magic pills to this. Mm-hmm. This life is not about snapping your fingers and then all of a sudden everything is okay. So I feel self-doubt, and as soon as self-doubt, I get doubt, I say, I am amazing, and the self-doubt is gone. No, this is not that type of journey. This is real life. And when you experience self-doubt, when you're going through those moments of self-doubt, you can remember the things that you've already, overcome. Mm-hmm. Start, go back and think about, I remember when I was doubting myself during this situation, and I made it through. Mm-hmm. And then again, tapping into your self-worth. I am on a big self-worth kick.
Yeah.
I really am. Yeah. Because a lot of things that we're going after, the reason we keep hitting our head against the wall is because deep down inside, we really don't feel worthy. We really do not feel worthy. And I had to check myself, and I had to check the message that I'm putting out here to women. We love to say self-love. We love to say self-care. We all of the self-confidence. However, I've seen a lot of confident people who have low self-worth. I'm confident in a lot of areas, and I have had some raggedy self-worth. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of it is really tied to knowing our self-worth. Even in those moments of doubt, I am still worthy. Mm-hmm. Even in those moments when I feel like I can't do this, I am still worthy. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell for me.
In a nutshell. Yeah, no, I love it. And I totally agree with you. I think some people are, of course, they're stuck, and it's difficult for them to see their value or their worth because they are looking for it through other people. They're looking for validation from others. And because, when you give a person that type of power over you, they can validate you and invalidate you just as quickly. Whoa. Yeah. So it's important. It really is important to understand and know your self-worth. It's just difficult. For some people have this huge self-worth, right? They have this grandiose attitude. So that's on the other extreme, right?
Exactly. I call it
sweet spot.
Yes. Healthy self-esteem, healthy self-confidence, healthy.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. Self-worth is self-worth is self-worth. You can't put a dollar sign on it. You know, there is a quote out that says, discover your self-worth and then add tax or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, our self-worth is so infinite. It is just so, it's just there. When we were born, it's here. You can't put a price tag on it.
Right.
You just can't, because it's here. Now we can get off into some other personality types who probably isn't tapping into self-worth. And those other personality types are probably dealing with their own insecurities.
Absolutely.
So they have to overcompensate for it.
Absolutely.
So you are absolutely correct. We were talking about something healthy.
Something healthy, yeah. Something healthy. So, you know, I know that you have a love for women and for helping us, right? Because, you know, many of us and many of the ladies that come to you, they are on a journey of recovering whatever it is that they've lost. And so I want to just talk a little bit about that. What inspired you to do that work that you do, the shadow work? I mean, you talk, you know, I've been following you for a while now. And I know you were in Florida during the pandemic, you know, with your retreat. But what inspires you to do the work that you do with the women?
I inspire me to do the work. It's changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
This work has changed my life. So I am really my inspiration. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of what we do as women who empower other women, it's really a result of the empowerment that we are giving to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I am my inspiration. If my life can change, if I can do the work, like if this 6th grade dropout, this abused, traumatized woman, little girl, if I can do the work, if I can go get my GED, if I can start a whole damn organization, if I can do all of it with ADHD before I was diagnosed, never had any type of medication, if I can do it, oh, hell, I know my sisters can do it.
Absolutely.
So I am the voice saying, you can do this. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. It's going to take work, though. It's going to take... I had this thought. You don't work for worth. You don't work for worth.
For worth, yeah.
But what happens is, because we've lived most of our lives believing we are not worthy, the work comes unpacking that belief system. That's the work. We ain't working to get to be worthy. We're working to start removing all of that shit that makes us believe that we are not. You know, so I am my inspiration. And after me, I have a tribe of 5. I have 4 girls and I have 1 boy. And one thing that I said I was going to do was always show up in my authenticity so that they would be brave enough to show up in theirs. I do it for my tribe of 5. They inspire me because I want them to live their lives to the fullest, not for mama, not for daddy, not for their sisters and brother, you know, their brother, but for them. And so I show up the way I show up. My 5 children watch me. They watch me. They cheer me on. 3 of them are on Facebook. So they get it. They know, they get it on Facebook. They get it off Facebook. But I do it for my babies because they deserve to live life to the fullest, and they deserve to be able to live their authentic lives. But I also let them know that it comes at a great price. Yeah. Everybody ain't gonna get you, and everybody won't like you. And if you need to be liked, you will never, ever, ever truly tap into your authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, because when you show up being you, unapologetically you,
yeah,
other times people can't handle that.
That's a fact. They want you sometimes to turn it down.
Yes.
To reduce your light.
Mm-hmm.
To silence what they perceiving as noise.
Right.
They want you to reduce that, to turn that down. And it does not allow you to stand up in your truth.
Right.
What you're saying is absolutely not. I'm standing in it.
I'm standing in it. And when I stand in it, what I'm also saying is I can stand in my authenticity and not harm you. Yeah. I can stand in my authenticity and admit when I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Me being my authentic self doesn't mean, oh, this is just the way I am. So here, take this. You know, that's not what I'm saying when I say be authentic. Yeah. I am wise enough to understand that you meet people where they are. Mm-hmm. You know, you meet them where they are. And it's if you need to kind of tone it down to get the message across, I'm still authentic. Mm-hmm. I'm still authentic, and I am toned tonight. Yeah. I'm toning it down. So you know what? It's wisdom. I go to work. I mean, I know the hat that I need to wear when I'm at work. Now, when I'm hosting an event, I'm just going to let people know up front, this is what you're going to get. So you can make a decision if you want to pick them up. Right. You understand what I'm saying? But when it belongs to somebody else, I mean, come on. I know what's up.
Oh, I just love you, girl. So let me ask just a little bit more about your ladies. I know you had your retreat, which was so beautiful. What are you going to do another one anytime soon? I know you are pivoting. I know you're doing a lot of self work and adjusting to life, and like many of us are. So I know I know you're making some different changes and you're moving things in a different direction. But I know where your love is at. So do you see another retreat in the near future? What is that going to look like? So
most definitely. Yeah. I'm already putting it together in my head.
Of course you are.
Most definitely the retreat. Again, I've been doing this for my baby girl is 13. I started before I was pregnant with her. Yeah. So maybe 15, going on 15 years of hosting seminars and workshops and things, conferences and expos, business expos. Like, and I was doing this stuff when my self-esteem was shot.
Yes. Yep. What we do, though, we talked about this earlier. This is what we do.
Yes.
People don't know what's going on in the background because we're showing up for others.
Yeah.
And we're being blessed within ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. So I always wanted to host a retreat. Yeah. And I started putting it together before Rona hit.
Yeah.
Girl. And so Rona showed up, and oh, you know what, sis, thank you, because you donated. You made that retreat possible. You and so many other people. So thank you, because I had to reduce the attendees, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
So Rona hit, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I didn't know what to do. And for a few months, I just didn't talk about it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
I'm going to say this. I don't know if it was the wisest thing. Thank goodness none of us left with Rona. Yeah. Everybody that attended, we left healthy. Mm-hmm. But it was amazing. It was, sis, no judgment.
Yeah.
Like, you hear so many people say, well, this is a judgment-free zone. Literally, it was a judgment-free zone. Nobody had time to try to pretend like they were this or they were that. Everybody was just real and raw. It was authentic sisterhood. We had fun, we cried, we had good food, we got drunk, we spent time on the beach. So it was great. And I am in my head. I got to get stuff out because, again, going back to ADHD, it's one of those things, like all of this information. So I have to sit down and just really get it all out. So hopefully in September, sometime in September, we will have another retreat. But I also have some goodies for neurodivergent people like us.
Okay. This I want to hear so much more about.
I'll let you know.
And you are right. The neurodivergent people. I am definitely one of those. And again, we're functional. People don't know. We're like the functional alcoholic. People don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But yeah, no, I manage as well as I can. And it's funny when you're talking about listening to the audiobook, I will listen to. I will read the book and then listen to the book. Just so that I can converse about the book. I got to invest that much time in things. Yes.
My holistic healthcare certification that I'm getting. Here's the book. It's on Audible.
Yep.
But we make it happen.
We make it happen.
We do what we need to do.
We make it happen through the childhood traumas, through the abandonment, through whatever. And I mean, we had a lot through, through not having the diagnosis properly when we should have.
Right.
Dealing with all sorts of abuse. We still manage.
Yes.
We're different, but we still manage.
And we're different in a good way.
We're different in a good way.
It's not, there is nothing wrong with who we are and how we process things. It's just how we were born. It's just one of those things. And I like, I tell people my ADHD diagnosis was for me, so I could know how to advocate for myself. Self-advocacy. I've been doing it all my life. You've been doing it all of your life.
All my life.
It took me a minute to get here. Oh my gosh. When you think, should it have taken me this long, even as an adult, even in therapy? Okay. Don't go off on there. Don't
look, even while you're coaching other people, right?
Yes.
And we're privy to the information. But it happens when it's necessary. This is the chapter that you're in your life. It's necessary now.
Right.
Because you have more chapters to go.
Yes.
You have more chapters to go. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. So, Coach Kat, we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes here, but I want to make sure, because again, you inspire me, you motivate me. I absolutely love your energy. I love your spirit. I love your passion, and I love your realness. Some of your posts, you be talking directly to me. I'd be like, oh, that was for me. When I hear you drop an F-bomb, I'd be like, girl, yes. Sometimes I need that. I'm so super sweet and kind and nice, but I have to live vicariously through you sometimes. I'm like, yes, I wish I could have said that, girl.
I get it. And I really understand it. We're all, I am me. You are you. Your messages, how you communicate it. My message is how I communicate it. There was a point in my life I wasn't able to communicate like this. I wasn't. So it has been a journey to get to a point to where I can just be, And some people, that's probably not who they are. So they'll never be like this. But
that's okay. Look, it's necessary for all of us to be here. it is necessary for all of us to be here. You
Yes,
know,
yes,
it's necessary. So
yes.
can you encourage the listeners who may have lost, their motivation or the inspiration, or maybe they're just fighting or battling with something? I mean, we're all dealing with something, but you always seems to leave a word, that strengthens us on our journey. So I want to give you space and time to just speak to those that are listening or watching, and there may be a little, have a little lack of motivation tonight.
Oh, wow. I am the queen of saying, show up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Show up, show up, show up, show up. I
Yeah.
know everybody is saying show up.
Yeah.
Really, show up.
Yeah.
Show up messy, show up confused,
Mm-hmm.
show up mad, show up angry, show up for yourself.
Yeah.
And in the process of showing up, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to get knocked down. You're going to feel like throwing in the towel, but don't do it. Or if you throw that motherfucking towel down and decide to take a little break,
Yeah. Yeah.
do what you got to do. Woo-saw, take a break, pick that towel back up,
Yeah.
keep it moving. We all lose the motivation. And then life is a series of the ebb and the flow. Some you're there are just going to be days that you are not motivated, and be okay with those days. Be okay with not being motivated. Maybe that day is a day that you could benefit from just resting, taking a break, resting, refueling, revamping, and getting back up and starting again. Showing up is also about resting. When we think about showing up, it's not always about movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show up for yourself by taking a break.
Yeah.
Show up for yourself by saying, I'm not unpacking shit today.
Yes.
I'm just chilling out.
Yeah.
Show up by saying, I'm not cooking today. Show up by saying, I'm not answering the phone.
Yeah.
Refuel, because we all need to refuel. We are not always going to be on ready, on go. We
Yeah.
are human beings. We need to rest. And during the unpacking process anyway, you have to be able to step back and process everything that you've unpacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to. Unpacking is just not this constant movement.
Yeah.
Unpacking is also about sitting back and processing, and the whole everything that you've unpacked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it in a nutshell again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. It's sweet. It's perfect. And I'm sure that those that are listening, that may be going through this right now, they will find some benefit nuggets in what you drop in, because it's a struggle for a lot of us, and I shared it earlier. I'm like, look, we may look refined and polished, but no one knows what we go through to get here. It's a process.
Yes.
And it does take it takes the unpacking. It takes talking down to that self-doubt that's in your head, that's narrating for you.
Right. Right.
It takes recognizing the mistakes that you made is not a death sentence. It takes all of that. It takes realizing that you are human and we make error,
Yes.
but it doesn't have to be the sentence. It's not the final say. It doesn't have the final say. It's not the final answer to our destiny unless we allow it to be.
Oh, come on, sis. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't know what Monday motivation was going to be about. I had no clue. I will share, and I'll share with the listeners. I've been struggling to stay motivated and to stay inspired. And, people have seen me grieve and mourn my father's loss, and I've shared it a million times. And I have a dear friend who's probably watching tonight, but a dear friend that constantly keeps saying it's possible. And I don't know why. I mean, he may be telling me that for other reasons, but for me, the it's possible I've been taken with me it's possible that I can get up today. It's possible that I can make a difference. It's
Yes.
possible that I can keep moving. It's possible, that I'm going to be okay. That's how I've been applying the it's possible message in my life because the struggle has been real. And so the Monday motivation I felt like was necessary um, for such a time as this. And it will be timeless and we'll be able to keep it going
Wow.
because we need the motivation because we're speaking to that part of us that wants to give up.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
Just keep showing up.
yeah,
Don't give up on yourself.
yeah,
Again, I'm a living witness. You are. Even
yeah,
in
yeah,
those times, you're here.
yes,
You're here. So you
yeah,
didn't give up. You
yeah,
showed up.
yeah.
I'm here. I didn't give up.
Hmm.
Again, but rest and relaxation,
Yeah,
those things are really important because
absolutely.
you don't want to get anything in extreme
Hmm.
is unhealthy
Hmm.
and it can do more damage than good.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so with the unpacking, take breaks. Whatever
Yeah,
it is, you have to take breaks. You have to find a way to
yeah,
refuel. And
yeah,
then also a support system.
yeah.
I
Oh, that's
posted
important.
something yesterday. Again, what inspires me?
Yeah.
Me digging deep and having aha moments.
Hmm.
All my life, it's really been me
Yeah,
making shit happen,
yeah.
showing up.
Hmm.
I haven't had a big support system.
Right.
I haven't had a huge cheerleading, committee.
Yeah.
I've been doing this shit by my lonesome for a
Hmm.
long time, for most of
Hmm.
my life.
Hmm.
And then I realized doing one of my unpacking things, and you all, unpacking is really like second nature. So it's not even work to me a lot of times anymore. In the beginning, it was really grueling, but it's like second nature now.
Yeah.
And I realized that, you are so used to not having support. You're so used to it that even if support is slapping you across the face, you won't accept it.
Wow.
You will not accept it because you are so used to doing it. You are so used to doing it instead of doing it the easy way and finding someone who you can learn from. You would, you're so used to you beating your head upside the wall 50 million times,
Yeah.
but you could actually ask this person for support and help, and you wouldn't have to do all of that. And
Yeah.
so I another aha moment, because I was unpacking if I am coachable.
Ooh, girl.
This is real talk.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is real talk. Too, we out here. Listen,
Mm.
I had to unpack if I was coachable. I really did.
Mhm.
I had to be real with myself. And so one of the first steps you need on this journey of unpacking is brutal honesty
Yeah.
with yourself. You got to call yourself out on your own BS.
Yes.
And so that's what I do, because I'm looking at a certain business, undertaking I've
Okay.
started.
Yeah.
And because I'm so used to just doing stuff on my own, that's how I started. And then I realized this woman is right here. She
Mhm.
can help you, Kat. And so I had to unpack and step back. Well, what?
Yeah.
What? And I had an epiphany.
Mm.
Ding, 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 ding. Uh-oh. So guess what? She's coaching me
Nice.
because I'm coachable.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. You just said something that made, look, I had a conversation earlier. One of my friends who's a psychologist, she rode me in today as I'm driving into work, and she and I on the phone, and she's going through some things. And she says, I had to go see a therapist, had to go see a psychologist. And she said, in my discovery, the psychologist, I'm firing all of them. She has 5 different ones that she's seen. But when you just said being coachable, of course I allowed her to vent, and she's like, well in her 50s. And she's been a psychologist for years, but she's really been dealing with some life matters and she wanted to talk to someone. But she is like, she has this wall up where the psychologist cannot help her because she's stuck. She is so stuck. And so, but you just helped me with that because she's a friend of mine and she confides and she, you know, she respects and honors, you know, my talks with her. I try not to give her advice. I mean, she's a therapist. She's a psychologist, for heaven's sakes, right? So I try not to give her advice, but I share girl talk with her. And so, but you just gave me something. So thank you for that, because being coachable is very, very important.
It is.
But being that way, and I mean, we have to be open to certain changes and certain things in our life.
Yeah.
We're not open to everything, but there's certain things we know we need. We shut it out. So I thank you for that, because I'm definitely going to take this story to her, hoping she can see a little bit of herself in it, because sometimes we don't realize it until, like you say, we have this aha moment. Like,
I didn't know it. I honestly didn't know. I thought that my life coaching skills, experience, and training was enough for what I started doing. I really did. And then there was a part of me was like, you know, I'm not going to bother her, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm trying to apply life coaching skills and experience to something that, yes, it you can use it, but that is not what I needed in the beginning. And so I spent all of these months trying to apply life coaching and wasn't getting anywhere until I had my aha moment of, this is your damn problem.
Love it.
But see, let me tell you something. I went to that coach and I apologized. I apologized to her. I did. You know, we can put ego aside. We can put pride aside. We can put all of that stuff aside. I went to my coach and I apologized. I laid it all out there, told her what was going on, because I'm real. And if women are going to dig deep and get real, unpacking starts at home. Realness starts at home. So the real that people witness is the real that I get. I get to myself. So I went to her and I apologized. I laid it out there. And now I'm coach. What you think about this, coach?
Yes.
Discount, coach.
Look, you're that client.
And I've had life coaches before.
Yeah.
This is something totally different.
Right. All right. So, Coach Kat, tell us where the viewers and listeners can find you before we get out of here.
You can connect with me on Instagram.
Okay.
At Katina, Katina J Amoah. That's Amoah. Yes, Katina J Amoah.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to come to Facebook. If you want, yeah, that's it. Katina.
There you go. That's it, right? Okay. All right. There we go. We'll put it up there.
Yeah.
The IG at Katina J Amoah. That's such a pretty name.
If you want my weird sense of humor, my crazy memes, you can follow me on Facebook.
Love them.
At Kat Amoah. But if you're highly sensitive, you know, certain things just don't feel right, you probably don't want to connect with me on Facebook.
Well, my advice to the listeners and the viewers is go ahead, check her out. I promise you would not be disappointed. Put on your big girl panties and give her a chance, right? Because I absolutely, I think we can gain something from everyone. And again, like I said, you just inspire me. The things you say, you're hilarious. And I love that about you, but you're so real. And that I love more. So
thank you.
Thank you so much, Kat, for joining me tonight
Thank
for
you
my
for having me.
first Monday motivation conversation for the month of March. I know you kicked it off. And to the listeners, come on, join me each Monday
Yes.
in March. I'll be here at the same time, 6 to 7. You'll see the announcements going out on our page. Follow us on the Relationship Zone page at IG, YouTube, and Facebook. And stick with us because I just feel that we have so many strong, amazing coaches that are coming on, leaving word of inspiration and motivation and telling part of their stories. And, I want us to unpack some ish, but pick up some of the things that we need to carry us on our journey. This is as much for me as it is for you, and as much for you as it is for me. So join me each Monday night. I'll be here. And Coach Kat, thank you again.
Thank
And
you.
hang tight with me, okay? I'm going to end our broadcast, but definitely stay here for a moment with
And thank you, Queenie. I really appreciate it. I can't end without saying thank you and sending you a big virtual hug.
Thank you, sweetheart. I so appreciate it. All right, to the listeners, thank you again. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you on my next live. Bye, everyone.